Alright, what's up Chuckle Fucks, and welcome to Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game for the newest installment of another video game series from Milestone similar to MXGP. And just like in my last Milestone game review, I guess the community decided that the new cool thing to do is flame the shit out of the devs just because there are some bugs in their game or a game mechanic that they don't like. And to that I say, grow the fuck up, pansies. Maybe if you weren't such a smooth-brained asshat and had half a brain cell that left in that cold dark cave you call a cranium, you'd be able to see that they did exactly what you've been asking for. Keep in mind all the footage I got for this video was in career mode on 450s, and it was right after a competitive league race day. So I was kind of fed up with the game and really did not want to play the game anymore, but because I needed a new video today, I sacked up, took my L, and played the game some more with my bottom of B main having ass. So, if this gameplay is ass, just keep in mind that I was really sick of the game at the time, and I also suck on a 450. Anyway, enough excuses. Let's talk about the game and how the community is 40% toxic ass people that just like to flame the game devs because they didn't do what they wanted. Really quick before I get into that, I just wanted to say that this video and every other video on my channel is sponsored by Rogue Energy. Let's be honest, as gamers, we all know what G Fuel is. Now don't get me wrong, G Fuel's a good product, I've tried it several times, but allow me to introduce you to Rogue Energy, G Fuel's little brother that does everything G Fuel does, but does it better. Yeah, the favorite child. Yes, G Fuel has more flavors, but I honestly got tired of a lot of the powder and G Fuel clumping up at the bottom of my shaker and having to wash it out every time to get rid of that clumpy, discolored cottage cheese looking ass shit from the bottom of my shaker. And Rogue Energy has yet to do that to me. So if you want to try Rogue Energy out, go to rogueenergy.com and purchase any of their products, whether that be shakers, tubs, starter kits, or merch, and use code MOTO at checkout for 10% off your purchase, or just click the link below. Alright, now back to the video. The most common complaint I've been seeing about this game is people crying about how Milestone made their AI way too hard, and oh my god, I can't win a race in career mode to save my life. Milestone, fix your game. And I think that's just plain hilarious, because ever since MXGP3, people have been pleading for Milestone to make their AI more challenging. Even at the hardest difficulty, the AI in these games and the MXGP games have been so easy to beat that a half-competent 6-year-old passing out from the melatonin his mommy gave him could beat them. In fact, I put my roommate, who has never played any of these games ever, on MXGP 2019 with a fully titsed out bike, and made him race the realistic AI, and he was able to win after a race or two, should tell you that the AI are kinda easy mode. So what did Milestone do? They fucking listened to the community. Just like any good game dev would do, they listened to the community and beefed up their AI to the point that the very easy AI were tough to beat at the beginning, and the realistic AI were tough to beat as well. But that's what the community wanted, right? They wanted AI that were tougher to beat, so they would have a challenge and actually have to work for their career wins, right? Well, apparently that's not what they fucking asked for at all, because now the community is begging Milestone to nerf their own AI that, in my opinion, was close to being perfect. The only thing they would have to do to make this AI system basically perfect is dial the easier difficulties down a little bit. The very easy AI were just a tad too challenging when first learning the game for me to consider them very easy AI. On a stock bike in your first few races, this difficulty felt more like medium or hard difficulty, but the realistic AI is damn near perfect. So, in my opinion, the only thing they would have to do to make the AI system almost perfect is dial the easier difficulties back a little bit and boost the higher difficulties just a sliver, especially in the 450 class. In the 450 class on career mode, I was walking the piss out of the AI on realistic, whereas on 250s, realistic felt challenging and almost perfect. My point is, there should be a difficulty to challenge every speed of rider that plays the game. So, if you're one of the people bitching about the AI being too hard or bumping into you once in a while, I'm going to just request that you grow a pair, sack up, realize that rubbing is racing, and fucking get good. Just because you're trash doesn't mean the game is trash, and that is coming from a fellow trash can. Moving on to the actual gameplay, this game, in my opinion, feels the best out of any of the games in the series. I enjoyed MESX 1 and 2, but 3 just didn't hit me the same. I'm not quite sure what it was, I just felt super slow and uncontrolled in MESX 3. Now that could just come down to me being shit at the game, because admittedly I was garbage at that game. So it's safe to say I was not expecting this game to feel much better. But after putting in some hours and really feeling the game out, I can confidently say this is definitely my favorite installment of the series, And it's the first game like this that I've played where I felt faster and more consistent on a 250 than a 450. The 250s in this game just feel way more fun to me than the 450s, and I'm not quite sure why. As I said in my last Milestone game review, this game is really good for how they had to develop it. For those of you who don't know, Milestone is an Italian company that is under a contractual agreement to have to release one MXGP and one Monster Energy Supercross game per year. And last year, COVID kinda hit Italy arguably the hardest out of anywhere in the world. I actually got a comment on that video of mine from one of the devs saying that he stepped foot in their office 2 days out of the whole year, and that the rest of the time it was work from home. So for another game that I would assume was primarily made from home with limited communication between team members, I would say they crushed it. I don't know if they're still under quarantine, so don't quote me on that if they are or aren't. I would assume so, but yeah, again, don't quote me on it. But for the 2 games that they released that were primarily made from home, I would say under the circumstances they did really well in the face of adversity. All in all, I would say this game is definitely my favorite Monster Energy Supercross game that they have released thus far. If you are new to the games and willing to be patient in figuring the game out and trying to get used to it, I would say it's definitely worth the buy. As far as part of the community that does nothing but bitch into the ears of Milestone for them not bending to your every whim, all I have to say is just go play MX Bikes. Y'all seem to suck that game off pretty hard, so maybe you just don't belong here. Just a thought. Anyway, that's my review of the game. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, please be sure to like the video and comment what you think down below. Let's have a conversation. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Anyway, that's all from me, fuckers. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Later, nerds.